Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. First, I'd want to update you on the latest developments involving Gary Gensler, the scumbag regulator. Tomorrow, SEC Chairman Gary Gensler will appear before the Senate Banking Committee in the United States to provide testimony. He has two hearings this month. The first is tomorrow, and you'll be testifying before the House Financial Services Committee at the month's end. That one promises to be the most explosive, as it already did the first time around. Patrick McHenry and many others questioned Gary at length. To that end, I eagerly anticipate it. Tomorrow will tell us if there is any resistance to his plan. However, he has issued a letter in advance of his testimony tomorrow. In typical fashion, he's repeating the tired old canard that all cryptocurrency tokens are securities. And now, one of his quotations. Given the widespread lack of compliance with securities rules in this industry, it's not shocking that these markets have experienced so much turmoil. Here's what Taylor Barr of the Digital Chamber of Commerce had to say in response to Gary's assertions that the lack of rules of the road and significant regulatory loopholes would be fine by business. It's not defiance of the law, rather, it's testing out new territory. It seems like we've seen this before, yet Gary keeps spreading these myths. We are aware of the haziness of the market. The courts and their judges have been revealed to us. Also, the courts are confused since the SEC has not clearly defined what constitutes a security and what does not. The Southeastern Conference is currently just putting everything at it. And Gary keeps on deceiving. This is why it's imperative that we keep up the battle. We need to tweet and leverage social media to achieve our goals. We need to get material rolling. Our reps must be contacted immediately. Attorney Mike C. Lake of Wilkie Farr specializes in cryptocurrency and financial regulation. According to his letter, Chair Gensler, most crypto coins do pass the investment contract tests, which he tweeted about for Gensler. Now, ex-Chair Clayton has declared that every ICO he has seen is a security. Although they use identical words, Judge Torres disagreed with Gensler's assessment that tokens are securities. As a result, we might conclude that the Ripple judgment was significant for precedent since it exposed Gary's fabrications. This stems all the way back to my interview with Hester Peirce, a SEC commissioner, about the Howey case, in which she emphasized the importance of the asset's presentation rather than its intrinsic value. No, the oranges themselves weren't the problem, nor were the trees and groves where they grew. His scheme was more of a financial venture. If it were the fruit and trees, then certainly every orange tree in existence today would provide security, as would every orange in the grocery store and the house you live in. These tokens, people, they exist on distributed ledgers. And I assume they are sold in places other than the USA as well. There are no equivalent rights to stocks. A token, if you will. Although you may have stock in the firm and shares in the corporation, you do not have voting rights. So it's not the security itself that's the issue here, but the packaging. That's the secret. What sets them apart is that. However, Gary Gans here keeps on as false, so we have to battle. Tomorrow's hearing should be interesting. Gary has taken a large loss with Grayscale in the cryptocurrency market, and I've heard that many Democrats and even some Republicans are unhappy with his approach to the market. There is a lot riding on the Ripple. I really hope Coinbase stomps all over this fool. Then, I'm hoping he's fired or otherwise compelled to step down. The SEC is now attempting to appeal the Ripple decision. In this article, attorney Fred Rispoli discussed this topic. According to him, the SEC made some reasonable arguments, and Ripple responded effectively, but because certification of the appeal is a discretionary standard and Judge Torres has wide latitude to do so if she finds that 3 statutory conditions are met, the most likely outcome is that she does not certify, primarily due to prejudice to the humans involved. Without the allegations against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, I would have to conclude she certifies 100% of the time. As a result, I doubt that is a consideration for Judge Torres, while there is some evidence to suggest otherwise. Since the Second Circuit can easily deny a request, she can sidestep the problem by claiming that the appellants are defying it. I don't think the SEC stands a chance, but we'll see. They can submit the appeal once more, of course. There's no reason to doubt that. Will they be able to pass legislation and genuinely enact change? Not in my opinion. The narrative optics don't seem good for Gary Gensler, and I agree with that assessment. I, for one, am eagerly anticipating the outcome of the court case involving Coinbase. Another defeat, in my opinion, would be devastating for Gary Gensler. Our sponsor, Uphold, which simplifies cryptocurrency investments, now has a few words to say. Since the year 2018, I've been utilizing Uphold. As a result, I feel confident in recommending this site, which supports over 150 countries, has over 10 million members, and accepts over 250 different cryptocurrencies. Not only can you trade 37 different national currencies, but you can also trade precious metals, stocks, and cryptocurrencies, making this platform quite exceptional. Follow the description link if you want to find out more about Uphold. Now that Ripple has the custodian, Fortress, things are finally heating up. Of course, this was a big milestone for Ripple, but it is now becoming clear that Fortress was the custodian for Swan Bitcoins, and that Fortress was hacked, leading to the loss of customer cash. In the meantime, you could be thinking, so what? Swan Bitcoin, on the other hand, is managed by a gang of Bitcoin maxis. It has Max Kaiser's endorsement. I can't remember the other guy's name who was with Corey. It's just that these individuals are extremely poisonous. I mean, they're attacking other coins and calling them names that I should be using. They never stop acting foolishly, you know. That's just how they operate, right? They've adopted that persona. However, many realize that they are toxic men and women in general. The irony, right? That Ripple showed up and saved the day for him. That the people at Fortress Trust have not been transparent about the losing finances and things that have been happening was allegedly corroborated by Mike Bell, who is the CEO of a large NGO, whom I've had on the podcast many times. This is affecting Bidco as well. Because major players are contacting to ask what the heck is going on? The whole breach situation makes no sense. Therefore, it is now chaotic. It's fantastic that Ripple helped save these Bitcoin maxis. But this is precisely why you avoid being a jerk and instead cooperate with business and put an end to tribalism. Cooperate, please. All of us encounter common foes. That's one resilient regulator right there, Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is being used as a weapon by the SEC and the TradFi incumbents, who also control the SEC, against the entire crypto asset class. That's some really exciting news, so. Now, people, there are many reports floating around that FTX liquidations will begin this week on Wednesday the 13th. Additionally, substantial liquidations may have been aired with Solana. I want to mention Bitcoin ETH, Doge, Matic, and many others. I don't know if that's going to happen or if they're just going to do it gradually. Even though I believe we are in a little bit of a slump with the market right now, I think people's worries about this could be adding to the decline in Bitcoin's price. And we shall see, but know that this is happening. I can't say for sure if that's true or not. However, it is a source of concern. So, I'm not too concerned about it myself. Since I know we are not in a bull market at the moment, I don't care if the price of Bitcoin drops. Despite a little recovery from the bear market's low point, the situation remains dire. Therefore, patience is required. Go back to the Bitcoin price charts from early 2019 and you'll see similarities. We all know what occurred in 2020, but I think it started out with a surge that fizzled out before it reached new highs. Then, in the latter half of 2020 or early 2021, the pumping began. We must similarly exercise patience in this case. There's no way we're breaking that 4-year pattern, at least not that I can see. The people who say we are may be right. On the other hand, I'll take a look at the past as a map and a guide to help me make the right calls and formulate the best approach possible. But for now, I'm aiming for an average cost of $1 every dip and will not be checking the pricing every day. Currently, it's not working. We have no problem with that. I have to let my feelings guide my decision as market cycles play out. If there is any truth to the rumors of an FTX liquidation, I can only hope that it is carried out gradually enough that it does not have a catastrophic effect on the market. If you're attempting to get as much cash as possible out of liquidating these crypto assets, you're probably not going to get very far if you start selling a significant quantity because people will notice and, it all day may start selling. We shall see what the future holds. The name David Marcus may be familiar to some of you. Naturally, he worked at PayPal, and he also spent time at Meta, better known as Facebook. Additionally, he comes from a financial payment background. And he runs a business called LightSpark that is working to promote wider use of Bitcoin's Lightning Network. He went on CNBC today, but he didn't offer any very novel insights. But I wanted to draw attention to something he said because I think it really describes how early it is. As he put it, global payments are still in the fax era. And that is the problem that Bitcoin is meant to address. In other words, we'll be discussing your fax machine. It's still early, then. Yes, I realize it often feels like we're running late. However, in terms of the adoption curve, we are still in the very beginning stages. And no matter how many billions of people aren't already involved in this field, they will be soon. And they will experience FOMO. But since you and I arrived early, we can take advantage of this situation. It's like getting in on the ground floor of the dot-com boom of the early 1990s, complete with access to shares of Google, Amazon, eBay, and the like. Correct the victorious. There will now be those who are unsuccessful. Obviously, there are going to be some winners and some losers in any market. Indeed, this is why you seek diversification. Now, some exciting news from Coinbase. You may stake on Coinbase Cloud with as little as 16 ETH, and partial staking will be available on the Coinbase wallet in the coming weeks. Most of us are aware that 32 ETH is a minimum requirement. If you don't wager through an exchange where they pull it together, you're basically just gambling. However, 32 ETH are required to stake on your own. As it is now Monday, staking amounts considerably below the minimum required to participate and earn rewards on the network of 32 Ether are now permitted via Coinbase Cloud clients. By integrating with the staking as a service platform, Coinbase now provides additional application programming interfaces, APIs. I'm arguing that if done well, KILN might make staking available to a whole new group of people. Almost all Ether wallets on Coinbase have fewer than 32 Ether in them. The overall value of Ether stake has continued to rise to new all-time highs since the Ethereum Chapelet update in April, according to data from the CryptoQuant market. In addition, by mid-June, the total amount of Ether staked on the network had nearly surpassed the total amount held on centralized exchanges. Glass.no data shows that as of August 28, there are 28.1 million ETH at stake, compared to 14.7 million ETH on exchanges. Thus, I will put my name on the line. I also think it's a fantastic way to generate passive income, particularly during market downturns. In addition, I maintain the algorithm H-Cardano as tough seals. Holding proof-of-stake tokens is a terrific method to generate passive revenue, so I hope you're taking advantage of it by staking. It's fantastic, though. Simply put, it gives a wider range of people access to additional betting opportunities. That's the good news. That's all there is to the news, folks. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think by commenting below, like and sharing this video, and subscribe. See you later, bye.